Hi guys. So we're here for another little plasticine tutorial. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. The past couple of weeks we've been sculpting from real life, which has just kind of been for purposes of getting you guys familiar with plasticine, of getting you guys familiar with different textural elements, smooth textures versus kind of uneven, asymmetrical textures. But just kind of really introducing you to the medium. So today we're going to start having a little bit more fun with this stuff and getting a little bit more creative with it. Over the course of the next few weeks, we are going to be working kind of with faces, which is really what this stuff is used for a lot in claymation movies. And we can get, all of these fun different features and expressions and start to sculpt some like kind of character-based stuff. So today what I want to do is I just want to show you a basic facial structure. Now you can modify this however you want. I'm going to show you one way. You can exaggerate features, you can, change shapes, but this is going to kind of be the foundation work for the next few weeks. Because what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to do the base structure. And then over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have fun altering things on it to get different results, to get different facial features, different expressions. So it should be kind of fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start off with a basic face shape. So what I did here is I just took some plasticine, some different chunks, and I started to just kind of clump it together to get this sort of rough oval shape. So a real useful thing for this is you can take your little loop tool, and what you can do is you can just start to like shred some pieces off. And all I'm doing is I'm just kind of running it over this block, and you can see it's like just starting to get all these little shreds. Because what this does is this allows us to kind of squeeze this stuff together and kind of smush it all to get our form. So that's pretty much what I did. I had a little bit of scrap stuff. I think maybe I pulled apart some of the bone that I'd sculpted. And then I took just some scraps and I just started to smooth these scraps together. So it's nice to work with those scraps because they smooth together a lot easier than like if you had really big pieces that you were trying to smooth together. Oh my goodness. Last week my dog was here. This week my cat was here, having cameos. Okay, so here's my face. Well, here's the shape. So it's just kind of like a basic oval shape. Maybe it's not a perfect oval. The chin is a little bit more narrow than the top. But again, this is just sort of like a rough guide. You can change the shape any way you want. But this is kind of the basic shape that I'm gonna be working with. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna try to make kind of a basic face from this. So I would say the easiest place to start is probably the nose, because that's going to be like the highest point. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some more of this scrap and I'm going to kind of make just like a bit of a triangle here. And I can kind of thin it out. I can pull off some of this extra stuff if I don't want my nose to be too big. But maybe you want like a really big nose. Maybe you're making like, a character. And I can kind of just put that on. I'm not going to really worry too much about smoothing it right away, because I'm gonna use that layering technique to get a lot of these features. So I have a nice little coil here. I'm gonna throw that coil up here to give me a little bit of depth in the brow. And I'm gonna have some more scrap here to give me some cheekbone depth. Because what we don't want is we don't want just like a face that's just like a flat plate that has like, you know, maybe a couple of features. We want some real curvature on here. We want it to actually look a little bit realistic. And I'm gonna do the same thing here for the chin, so that I have maybe something like this. And really, if I wanted to, I could do the same thing for the mouth. I'm not exactly sure what kind of mouth I'm gonna put on this yet. I'm gonna really hold off until like next week to really do some like features. So maybe I just have like just a thin closed mouth. So right now it doesn't look like much. It looks like, you know, just some sort of strange, like, I don't know, sculpture of a face, something you would find on like Easter Island. But I'm gonna start to smooth all this stuff in. So remember, just like we talked about in other videos, you do this layering and you put those pieces on, but then you can start to kind of smooth stuff out, and it starts to create those really nice shapes, and it starts to give you a little bit more what you're looking for. So, and if you're having trouble getting down into areas, you can use tools to smooth stuff out. You can grab a pencil, you can use that. Pencils are great little clay tools. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just smooth all of these little lumps that I put on here out to just kind of make a nice little face shape. So this is my chin here. And then I'm gonna take my pencil and smooth this right between the lips and the chin. And again, what we're doing here is we're trying to get this to actually look like it has a little bit of depth, and it's not just this flat plate, but that we have all of those kind of natural curves that occur on the face. You have like those cheekbones and the brow. Then we start to get something that actually looks a little bit like a person. And even though there's not really any, you know, facial features on here, we can very much tell that this is eventually going to be a face, right? And that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for like a template to start with, because from week to week, we're gonna take this basic face template and we're gonna modify it and do different things with it. Like add different features, make them angry, make them happy. Now, yours might not look exactly like mine. Maybe you have a bit of a rounder face on it, or maybe your nose is smaller. You know, there's all kinds of different things that you could have done. But all we're doing here today is just kind of getting this basic face shape down so that we can start working with it. Now, from here, I don't really want you to worry too much about like facial expressions. We'll get into that. But from here, you could start to have some fun with it, and you can start to really kind of sculpt this person and make them your own. You know, we can give them some nostrils if you want. Start to make it actually look like like a person. So you got some nostrils there. Start to shape those, start to shape the nose a little bit. And then maybe I want to carve out the eye sockets a bit. And you can certainly do some carving in this. Up to this point, I've only really added stuff. I haven't really taken away anything. But we can start to do that because eventually he'll have some eyeballs there. And maybe I want to hollow out the cheeks. Maybe I want to give it a little bit more shape on the side here. You can do some of that. And, you know, maybe I want to get like a little bit of a line in there for the mouth. Again, don't worry too much about this stuff because we'll kind of alter these as we go. Like I said, once we get into doing like different facial expressions, we'll start really kind of accentuating those different parts, altering the mouth, altering the brow, adding the eyes. But what we're doing today is we're just kind of getting familiar with a basic head shape so that we can start having fun with these and start building these characters. You got to learn these basics before you can jump into doing like exaggerated characters and all the features and everything. So today is just really about kind of building that template, building that foundational facial structure so that you have something that's kind of like this, so that we can tell, well, that's definitely a face. Like I said, yours may not, most likely will not look exactly like mine. But, you know, these were kind of the basic structures, the things that we were looking for. This, like the brow, the nose, a chin, some cheekbones, the recessed hollows for the eyes, maybe like the lips protruding a little bit. So this is kind of what we want. We want something that just, you know, you can tell when you look at it, oh, that's definitely a face, even though there's really not any sort of expression or anything happening with it. Like I said, this is just the foundation. From here, we'll start getting a little bit more creative with it. We'll start altering things. But, you know, baby steps. We got to learn to crawl before we can walk, right? So this was our little basic face building tutorial. Hopefully it was kind of helpful here for you. Hopefully this sort of step-by-step process here, the progression kind of showed you how I got from just a little oval of clay to this. And hopefully you guys can create some neat little faces here to start with. So thank you guys for watching this. I'm excited to see all of your little plasticine faces. And I will see you guys next time.